Hey everybody, today we're going to be talking about simplifying radicals. Now, the next unit we're going to get into is going to be geometric mean and similar right triangles. Now, a lot of this is going to end up with a proportion where you get an x squared as the bottom, and I'll show you exactly how that would look. So first, we start with the proportion. This is step 2, right? So you might get something that looks like this, x and 6, and then 3. Let's go like this instead. Oh, 3 is good. And then x, like that, right? The next phase of this, we've been doing it. We did it all similar triangles, and we're gonna continue to do it in the next phase too. Cross multiplication, and just go through. X times x, it's gonna get us x squared. 6 times 3, it's gonna get us 18. Now, the next part of this, which we haven't really done yet, is gonna look like this. Every time you see a squared up here, you continue on to undo it. It's the inverse operation. So now this cancels out. We're giving us an x. And then, if you put this into your calculator, it's not gonna give you a nice number. Especially if they ask you to do it in simplest form, then we have to give it to them like that. So the best way to do this is to match a perfect square. We need to figure out two numbers that's going to multiply here, where one of them is going to get us a perfect square. What's a perfect square? Perfect square is going to be any whole number that has two numbers that multiply to it. So for example, 4 is a great whole number. That's 2 times 2, right? What's the next one? That's 2 squared. 3 squared, that's 9. It's gonna get us 3 times 3. What's another higher one? Let's do like 8 squared, 64. That's 8 times 8, right? And there's a whole bunch of numbers in between here and here that do it. So let's match it to what it looks like here. Now, does 4 divide evenly into 18? No, it doesn't. But 9 definitely does. So we know that 9 times 2 is going to get us 18. Now, the trick to this is remembering the square root for each one of these. So I'm gonna take it over to this side. So x, in the place where we've broken it down, is gonna get us radical 9 times radical 2, okay? And now we know that when you square root 9, you get 3, because it has 2 of the same number that multiply to it. So then we're gonna get 3 radical 2. And that's our full answer, okay? So simplifying radicals, the key is finding the greatest square root, okay? So even taking it to the next level, let's just go clear this out and take radical, let's say 24. Let's take it to the next level, okay? Now, we gotta split it, okay? The first numbers that I can think of is 8 and 3. 8 times 3, right? I don't think no perfect squares are gonna go in here, okay? We could also use another pair, which is nice. 12 times 2, that might get us there a little bit faster. Let's break it down the same way together, okay? Now remember, every step we take down this radical, bang, bang, okay? Now 8 can break down into 4 times 2 times 3, because we're taking down that, still with the radical. Now we've done something really good here. But before, let's break this down. 4 times 3 times 2. So notice, even though we use two different numbers to simplify, we have 3 of the same numbers, okay? So now if we break this up individually, radical 4 times radical 2 times radical 3. Now we don't know a radical 2, and we don't know a radical 3, but we do know a radical 4, and that's going to get us 2. The square root of 4, 2. Check that on the calculator. Then, since these two don't have a square root, we just combine them in the same way that we multiply 2x and 3x. It's the same deal. So then we carry this down as radical 6, right, since multiplication. Okay, so now I can break down the same way for this one. The important thing to do is that it doesn't necessarily matter which numbers you use, it just matters that you use the right ones. So we went with a smaller multiple here. We went with a larger multiple here, but we got the same 3 numbers. And that's the key right there, okay? Boom, boom, boom. Now, let's take a new one. Let's do 120. I like that one. Let's do 120. So if we're going radical 120, we're gonna break this down. I think that let's keep writing. We've got you can do this in the calculator. You can just go in, take the perfect squares. We're gonna write the perfect squares up here. We can go like, it goes like 4, that's 2 squared, 3 squared, 4, 9, 3 squared, 4 squared, 16, 25, 36, that's 6, that's 7 is 49, 8 is 64 when you square it, 8, 9, that's 1, that's 81, 10, that's 100, 11, that's 121, 12, that's 144, 13, that's 169, and I think that's probably as far as we'll need to go here. Now, take a look here. We have a perfect square. We have a big number that's in the 100s. It ends in a 0. That's a good friend to us. We could use 10. Let's do it 2 ways. Okay? Now, we could use 10 because it ends in 0. 10 times 12. Boom. Okay? Is there any other way that we could break this up? 120. Can we find any? Let's go to the calculator and see if we can get a higher number. Let's see if we can, I'm just freestyling here now. Higher number, 120 divided by 20. That gives us a whole number. 20 times 6. Do any one of these go in? 120 divided by 25. Nope, that doesn't go. 120 divided by 16. Nope, that doesn't go. 120 divided by 36. Nope, that definitely doesn't go. So it's not looking really good as far as using the perfect squares, but this is the goal always. Then, let's break it down. We're breaking this here and here. 4 times 3. 5 times 2. Okay, now we have all these funky stuff. We have 4 numbers now. This is nasty work. 4 numbers. And let's separate it. We got radical 4 times radical 3 times radical 5 times radical 2. Okay. This is not a perfect square. Not a perfect square, not a perfect square. Yes, a perfect square. So we can go 2 radical 3 times 5, that's 15, times 2, that's 30. Okay, and that's the answer right there. Boom. So every time you get in here, the first thing you have to check is these. They're easy multipliers. When you square root this, 2, and we found that right here. When you square root this, 3, square root this, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and on and on and on, right? Every time we're checking one of these. Now, if it doesn't give you a nice right away, then just break it down. Find some multiples and make the number tree all the way until you can't anymore, which is what we did right here, 4, 3, 5, and 2. And then we have a square root right here, okay? If you have any questions, put them in the comment or email me, put it on Canvas, however you want to do it. But we're gonna be doing this tomorrow and Thursday, and Wednesday and Friday when we continue on with geometric mean and similar right triangles. This is a necessary skill to get it all the way to your final answer, okay? So again, you got any questions, let us know, let me know over here, and yeah.